everybody, and welcome to the girls room. I have a good one for you all today. We're going to be discussing tools. What tools do you need after you buy your first home or to start your very first DIY project? Stay tuned. Let's talk about tools. When you start your first DIY project, you're probably going to watch a few different YouTube videos, and you're probably going to wonder, what tool is that? What are they using to get this result? I've even found myself leaving a comment to ask, what tool is that? Where can I find it? What did you use to get this? So I'm going to share with you today what is in my toolbox and what you need right off rip to get started. Just a little disclaimer here. I am not a contractor. I'm not a licensed contractor. I am not a professional. I am an amateur that has taught myself about these tools, and I've taught myself how to use these tools over the years. It's taken time, okay? As a beginner, you are going to need a tool kit, okay? If you find a tool kit at Walmart or on Amazon, I can link this exact one in the description below. You'll be able to have everything you need right in that toolkit to start, okay? It's gonna include a wrench. It's going to include a level, a hammer, a set of Allen wrenches or hex tools, or a few different people refer to these things as different, but I believe the correct name is an Allen wrench. A lot of new furniture that you will buy off of Wayfair, off of Amazon, from Walmart will require an Allen tool to put the screws in, unlike traditional furniture where you need a screwdriver. These are helpful because sometimes you end up losing the tools that come with your actual furniture or product. So I suggest getting a tool kit that has a set of Allen wrenches in it. A couple of other things that will come in a traditional tool kit will be a screwdriver and a set of pieces to change out for that same screwdriver. On top of that, you're going to need a stud finder. A stud finder is going to come very much in handy when you are trying to hang pictures in your home, when you're trying to put up shelving, when you're trying to screw anything into the walls. If your home was built after a certain time, you're going to need a stud finder. Funny story, when I bought my home, I was so used to living in fairly newer builds that I bought this stud finder and went up to hang up my first wall hangings. I basically went and was clicking it around the walls, and it would catch a stud, quote unquote, every few centimeters. I had no clue why that was happening, but then I recently found out that homes built during this era, my home was built in 1906, they used something called lath and plaster. Who would have known? So lath and plaster is basically wood, strips of wood, and then they would plaster over those strips of wood to create the walls, okay? Now, if your home was built after a certain time, you will not encounter that. It is drywall in between studs. So, fun fact, I didn't need this when I bought my home, but it's helpful to have if your home was built after a certain time, or if you plan on doing any projects in your apartment or whatever, you need a stud finder. Next up, what else you need outside of that original tool kit is going to be a tape measure. A tape measure is going to come in handy for almost every single project you're going to do, whether you're hanging shelves, whether you are painting, or if you need to mark something on the walls, or really anything, you're going to probably need a tape measure. I got this tape measure for like $2 at Home Depot. It's small, but it does the trick. Now let's talk about power tools. I was never the type of person that was afraid to use a power tool. I took shop class in middle school. I always was a crafter and ready to just learn how to use a power tool. If you're one of the people who are afraid of using power tools, a good start is to just start with a drill. A drill is going to be able to help you screw things faster. It is basically a screwdriver on steroids, but it doesn't have very much power to it besides that. One of the tools I just recently upgraded to from a drill is an impact driver. This is an impact driver. It is a drill on steroids. It has power behind the drill so that you're able to screw in screws into thicker pieces of wood, like a stud or like a 2x4 or whatever you're using for a more heavy duty project. You can just kind of hear there that it has more power than a regular drill. The last tool upgrades that I want to talk about are upgrades of this wrench here. So you're going to get a wrench in whatever tool kit that you decide to get. However, this wrench, the majority of the time, does not do the trick, unfortunately. So I had to upgrade my wrenches in order to get the grip that I need or the size that I need. And let me show you those. So here's another wrench here. It's basically the same thing as the one that came in the regular toolkit. However, as you see, it's thicker, it's bigger. It allows for a little bit more solid grip onto the bolt you're unscrewing. This is the Husky brand. I will also tag it in the description below. It comes with not only a wrench, but a ratchet as well. You're going to need a ratchet at some point too, so this kit is good to have. I just recently upgraded to this kit 2 years ago when I realized there was some screws and bolts that were just way too tight for me to even think about doing by hand with this small wrench here. One more wrench upgrade. I don't know what brand this is, but it comes in handy because it has ridges here, unlike these two. These might this one technically might have a different name than a wrench, but in theory, it does the same thing. Besides having these ridges here to grip onto something that might need a little bit more grip. This one also gets very big. This is how big it gets. And you can see in comparison to how big this one gets, that's the largest that it gets. This is the largest that it gets. So in comparison to those two, you can kind of see why it would be handy to have one of these in case you run into some plumbing or PVC pipes that might need to be gripped on and screwed or unscrewed. It's good to have this upgrade wrench as well. Last but not least, we have a bonus tool, an electric sander. For any of those projects that need a little bit more sanding, you probably should just invest in an electric sander. Now, my electric sander, I will link it down low as well, was I think only it was less than $40. It was for sure less than $40. It actually catches the sawdust as well in a little thing on the bottom. So just to recap, all the tools that I've listed today, I will link below so that you can just go ahead and grab them right away. They'll also be in my Amazon storefront. If you have tools in your tool belt that have not been listed today, please let me know in the comments below. And let me know what you guys think about this video. Did you guys like this type of content? Again, I'm not a professional, but I am someone who has learned how to use these tools over the years. And it's become second nature for knowing when and how to use these tools. That is it for today for the girls' room. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will be back with you guys very soon. Have a good one.